going on, Rockstars? It is your girl, Talia Jeanette, and we are back with another installment of Diary of a Mad Preschool Teacher. All right, so I don't even know where to start. We know that the world is in a massive uproar due to what happened in Minnesota to George Floyd, and they have been going crazy in New York. Like, there was a protest a couple of days ago in front of my building. Like, it's been intense. But this video is not going to really go into details on that, because if you don't know what's going on, you've been living under a rock. I choose not to pollute my energy with your CNN, MSNBC, Fox, ABC, NBC, CBS, CW, UPN. I don't watch the news because the media is full of lies. I don't bother with it. I don't business with it. I will follow blogs. I do follow the newspapers. The newspapers, they kind of lie too, but you know, in case the president decides he wants to do something dumb, I'll read the paper first. But this is more about the Black and brown teachers in the preschool daycare settings, and it's a lot of us. If you live in pretty much a major city or a predominantly Black neighborhood, even in some of your upper class places, they have a lot of Black and brown teachers. For the most part, that is what the field hires, is Black and brown people, because we're very good at taking care of kids. Okay, let's backtrack. Tuesday was Blackout Tuesday on social media, and a lot of companies that I follow, I see what y'all did. Y'all posted a black square. Maybe it had the company logo on it, and it had a generic caption from corporate. I feel generic corporate copy and paste are very insincere. So there's a strike one already on that, because that didn't come from that particular center. That was just corporate emailed this, so we have to put it. Okay, you did that. Now what? What are you going to do now for your Black and brown teachers? And this is not to say white teachers matter less. That's not what this is. This is the same thing with the whole hashtag all lives matters nonsense. We're not saying all lives don't matter. We're not saying white teachers don't matter. But right now, it is an attack on Black people. It is an attack on Black lives. It is discrimination against Black and brown teachers. That's what this is about. So don't come for me in your comments. Don't message me. Don't DM me about it, because that's not what this is about. I, as a Black teacher, I would just like to know what companies are going to do now. You've posted your little black square. Now what? What are you going to do to ensure that there's fairness and equality across your company? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of your corporate offices don't have girls that look like me walking around. Every time I get a visit from a CEO, a COO, a CFO, or HR, most of the time they don't look like me. I said it in the last video that a lot of front offices, your admin team, y'all don't like putting girls my color at the front desk, and I don't know why. I don't know if you think that makes your company look better. I don't know if you think it makes the front of your house look better, but it's not fair when you have teachers in the back that can run your front desk better than a lot of people at the front desk. I'm just saying. Just my personal opinion, you know. I'm gonna use my First Amendment right now before the president strips me of that. So what are you gonna do for your teachers of color? Again, not to say that there aren't good white teachers, because there are. I've worked with some of them. I have worked with some phenomenal white teachers, especially the third stint I think I worked at. Phenomenal. But most of these phenomenal white teachers aren't American. Think about that. A lot of the phenomenal white teachers that I have worked with have come from your overseas countries, and they're not from here. You know, America don't like foreigners either. It's an attack on black people, an attack on foreigners. It's a never-ending cycle. What are you doing for your minority teachers? And I'm going to include foreigners in that minority part. What are you doing for us? A black square is not improving my work conditions. It's not improving my benefits. It's not improving my job growth at this point. I've seen teachers give classrooms decades of their lives with no benefit, no growth, nothing. They gave decades of their lives to children that aren't theirs. What are you doing? I would like to know. So if somebody can help me understand it, please feel free to help me understand it, but make it make sense. Make it make sense. Again, there are like several wars we are facing right now. We're facing the war on black people. We are facing the war on women. We're facing the war on humanity. We're facing the war on poor people. Several, but right now the main focus is the war on black and brown people. That's what it is. And for me, there's not a lot of fairness when it comes to black and brown teachers. There's not a lot of fairness when it comes to schools in the poor areas of the neighborhood. My area, like on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, my area is like a 6.5, 7 on a good day. But you know the funding is not coming into a lot of these schools. And then the daycares are very, very not, I don't know the terminology to put it in, but there's not a lot of daycares in the hood that take kids under the age of 2. I know I didn't go to daycare until I was about 2.5. But the daycares that do take infants, that take toddlers, yes. So a lot of daycares that do take infants and toddlers charge college tuition monthly. Can you imagine as a college student paying $2,000 a month per school? It used to kill me paying $2,000 a semester, let alone thinking having to pay for expenses. But a lot of these daycares are charging $2,000 a month with barely anything given. You still have to pay separate for lunches. You have to pay extra if you want early drop off, late pickups. You have to pay a lot of money for these young ones. And granted, the younger kids require way more attention. I've been an infant teacher for a while. It always threw me how infants cost more, but preschool teachers make more than the infant teachers do, when, you know, the infants require more than a preschooler does. But that's another video for another day. Where are the daycares that the parents can afford? A lot of these daycares as well will not take city vouchers. So you mean to tell me you're supposed to keep your kid home until they're 3 to put them in UPK? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And then a lot of these daycares, you can't, if you're a teacher, and keep in mind, a lot of the teachers, once again, are black and brown. They're mothers. You mean to tell me if I work for you, not only does my child they're not allowed to attend for free, I have to pay you to bring my kid to work with me so I can work for you? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And then my other gripe is the teachers that aren't minorities. They get praised all the time. They preferential treatment, job growth, everything. I can say this because I've seen it. I'm not talking out my ass, folks. I've seen it. I've witnessed it on more than one occasion where the white teachers are favored and the black teachers are thrown the scraps. We're second choice, third choice, 10th choice. Why? You think because I speak Ebonics, I'm not as educated as my white counterpart? You think because I'm black, I wouldn't look as good running your front desk as my white counterpart? You don't think I would be able to do a good job representing the company outside of the building like my white counterpart? Like, and then some of the excuses are wacky. Some of the excuses are just really wacky at times. I'm not going to get into the excuses that I've been hearing over the years because it's all a moot point at this point in the game. We're talking about what can happen to better these companies. What does your corporate office look like? You know, you want to hire all these colored women to run your classrooms, but you have people who don't know what it's like in your corporate office. Make it make sense. Help me understand it, because I don't understand it, and I 10 years in, I still don't understand it. I just want it to make sense so bad, but I know it doesn't. And it's never going to make sense until somebody starts I don't want to say ghetto, because that's not a good word. Somebody's going to have to start they're going to have to start a Bright Horizons, a KinderCare type of thing for people in the impoverished areas where they're not being charged $2,000 a month for their baby when you can barely make ends meet now. We're going to and I would love to open a daycare. I don't want to be an owner in New York because, again, this is another video for another day. The New York requirements are ridiculous. Y'all look at Article 47 on top of New York regulations. Ridiculous. Like, I would open a school out of state somewhere. It's hard to do in New York. It's extremely hard to do in New York City. But one of us is going to have to do that. And our corporate HR is going to have girls our color, because that's the only way I see us getting positions at this point, because nobody else wants to give us the opportunities. It's the same anywhere you go. It's the same in wrestling. It's the same in corporate America. Everywhere. Colored girls are only good for doing the background work. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. But again, like I said, for all you companies that came and you posted your little black squares on Instagram, I just want to know, what are you doing for your colored employees now? That's what I need help understanding and knowing. And then once y'all can admit what's been being done and how you're going to correct it, your black squares mean absolutely nothing to a colored teacher. It looked very good for the social media aspect of it, but it means zero to us when actions don't follow behind it. It means nothing when I'm a Black teacher and I barely see kids in the center that look like me because they sadly can't afford it because your prices are too high. Make it make sense. That's all I ask. All I ask, make it make sense and do better. Do better. Y'all love putting equal opportunity employment, like, ain't unequal about anything with y'all. And you can't hold it against me because, like I said, freedom of speech. I'm going to use it until Trump tells me I can't. Equal opportunity means nothing to me when I have seen my counterparts get way better treatment than I have in 10 years. Make it make sense. I'm gonna go because this video is I'm gonna start rambling and I'm gonna start ranting, and that's not the point of this video. So if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. Let's talk about the unfairness you've seen at your job, because I'm pretty sure you have seen it and you haven't been allowed to talk about it, but this is a safe space, so we're here to talk about it, folks. Until then, I will catch you guys in my next